Morning friends, happy Thursday, how the heck you doing? And the will they, won't they game has started yet again in the media, this time led yesterday by The Telegraph, which is actually a fairly reputable news and media outlet in the UK. Will Harry and Meghan come to the UK together? Will they bring the children? This has hit the top of the newsreels, as anybody would expect, because the press will be obsessed with trying to get full facial photos of the kids. Absolutely off the scale interest in this story for obvious reasons, and it's pushing any non-working taxpayer funded royal news of them all out yesterday at Ascot, yet again on the public's dime, not really working. It's pushing all that shizzle away from the headlines. My advice to Harry and Meghan is not to bring the children. I don't think the UK is an appropriate and safe space for them at the moment, particularly with all the security debacle that's going on. I don't think those children need to be anywhere near any members of that non-working family. I just don't think they're appropriate, and I don't think they're nice people.
Alright, can we talk about what's happening here for a second? Because every few months, like clockwork, somebody in the British tabloid world suddenly discovers a brand new exclusive about Harry and Meghan, and somehow we're all supposed to act shocked. This week's episode, Harry, Meghan, Archie and Lilibet are heading back to the UK. According to who? That's the funny part. You start reading these articles expecting some official announcement, some statement from their team, maybe even a quote from Harry himself. Instead, halfway through the article, you realize the entire thing is being held together by a mysterious source who apparently knows everything, sees everything, and somehow never has a name. These invisible insiders deserve their own royal titles at this point, seriously. They seem to have more media appearances than some members of the royal family, and that's where people need to slow down and read past the headline, because there's a huge difference between confirmed and someone says maybe. Those are not the same thing. The tabloids know exactly what they're doing. They throw a little bait into the water and wait. Will Harry respond? Will Meghan respond? Will somebody deny it? Will social media explode? Because any reaction becomes tomorrow's headline. It's like watching somebody toss breadcrumbs to pigeons and then acting surprised when birds show up. And let's be real, Harry has already explained why UK visits are complicated. He spent years fighting over security issues. He's spoken publicly about wanting his family protected. None of that is secret information. So when articles suddenly recycle those old concerns and package them as breaking developments, that's not news. That's leftovers wearing a new outfit. Meanwhile, regular people are sitting here wondering if this trip is actually happening, while the media is basically playing a giant game of telephone. One person whispers something, another person adds drama, a third person adds urgency. By the end, it sounds like the moving trucks are already parked outside Montecito. The funniest part is how desperate some of these stories feel. You can almost hear editors sitting around saying, okay, what have we got today? No Harry news, no Meghan news, no Archie news, no Lilibet news. Quick, find a source. Because whether people love them or hate them, Harry and Meghan still pull attention. That's just reality. People click, people watch, people talk, and the tabloids know it. That's why they keep throwing these stories into the air, hoping something sticks. Maybe Harry responds, maybe Meghan responds, maybe their spokesperson issues a correction, maybe social media starts fighting about it. Any reaction is a win because the story gets another week of life. That's the game. And honestly, if I were Harry and Meghan, I'd be exhausted. Imagine waking up and finding out strangers have already planned your travel schedule before you've even packed a suitcase. That's basically what's happening. Meanwhile, Archie and Lilibet are out here just trying to be kids, and that's the part that gets overlooked. Every time these stories appear, there seems to be this obsession with dragging the children into the headlines too. Why? They're kids, not public attractions, not reality TV characters, just kids. Can somebody explain to me how every other week there's a breaking news headline about Harry and Meghan, and then when you actually read the article, the breaking news is basically somebody heard something from somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody? Come on now. You click expecting receipts, you expect a statement, you expect a confirmation. Instead, you're greeted by the legendary tabloid superheroes known only as sources. Not a spokesperson, not Harry, not Meghan, not even the neighbor's dog. Just a mysterious source floating around every newsroom in Britain, apparently working overtime. And that's the part people keep missing. If Harry and Meghan were planning some major UK family trip, wouldn't their actual representatives be the people confirming it? That's usually how real announcements work. But nope, what we're getting instead is a giant bowl of apparently, reportedly, and a source claims. That's not confirmation, that's gossip wearing a necktie. The tabloids are playing their favorite game again. Throw out a dramatic headline, watch social media explode, wait for Harry and Meghan to react, and then write 15 more articles about the reaction. It's like setting a trap and then getting upset when nobody steps in it. And honestly, regular people see this trick every day. It's no different than that coworker who starts a rumor with, "I don't know if it's true, but..." The moment you hear that sentence, you already know nonsense is about to arrive. Now, here's the thing. Harry has been crystal clear about security concerns for years. That's old news. He's spoken about protecting his family, he's spoken about safety, he's spoken about the challenges surrounding UK visits. None of that automatically translates into the Sussexes are packing their bags next week. Those are two completely different conversations. And if I'm looking at this as a parent, forget the royal drama for a second. Forget the headlines, forget the clickbait. Why would any parent rush to put their children into a media circus? Seriously, the second Archie and Lilibet step into public view, certain photographers would be moving like they're chasing the last ice cream truck on Earth. Everybody would want pictures, everybody would want reactions, everybody would want exclusives. And then comes the worst part. The internet, because we've all seen how social media works. Grown adults sitting behind screens making comments about children they've never met, picking apart photos, creating nonsense stories, turning kids into trending topics. That's not normal. That's weird, very weird. Archie and Lilibet didn't sign up for any of this. They're children. They deserve the chance to grow up without becoming the day's entertainment for strangers online. And that's why I completely understand Harry and Meghan being cautious. Parents are supposed to protect their kids. That's literally the job description, not serve them up to a camera frenzy because a few newspapers need content for Tuesday morning. You have to laugh at this point because the pattern is getting so predictable. The minute one royal event wraps up, the tabloids start looking around the room like, okay, now what? And somehow every road leads right back to Harry and Meghan. Funny how that works. Think about it. If the stories coming out of the palace were generating endless excitement on their own, there wouldn't be this immediate rush to drag Harry and Meghan back into the conversation. Yet here we are again, another exclusive, another bombshell, another article built on information that supposedly came from somebody who knows somebody who talked to somebody. It's the same recipe every single time. No official statement, no spokesperson confirmation, no direct quote from Harry, no direct quote from Meghan, just the magical tabloid characters known as sources close to the situation. Those people must never sleep. They're apparently everywhere. They know everyone's plans, everyone's feelings, everyone's travel schedule, everyone's breakfast menu. Amazing. But here's what regular people understand. If somebody tells you they have huge news but can't tell you where the information came from, you're probably not taking that story to the bank. You're definitely not betting your rent money on it. Yet somehow when it's Harry and Meghan, we're expected to treat every rumor like it's an official government announcement. Come on now. And the timing is always interesting. The second the headlines start slowing down, suddenly there's another Sussex story ready to launch. It's like clockwork. You can practically hear newsroom editors saying, "We need traffic, we need clicks, we need people arguing in the comments. Quick, somebody find a Harry angle." Because whether certain people want to admit it or not, Harry and Meghan still pull attention. Now, here's the question that has everybody talking. If Harry actually brings Meghan, Archie and Lilibet to the UK, what happens next? Does Charles make time to see them? Does William show up? Because that's where things get awkward. The palace has spent years promoting this image of family unity, family values and loving relationships. But if Harry arrives with the kids and nobody makes the effort to see them, people are going to start asking some uncomfortable questions. And let's be honest, regular people understand this stuff immediately. You can only say you're too busy so many times before folks start raising an eyebrow. Nobody expects a king's schedule to be empty, but when family members travel thousands of miles and still can't get a meeting, that's when the public starts doing the math. This isn't even about royal titles anymore. It's about family, it's about priorities, and perception matters. Because if there's a photo op for every ribbon-cutting ceremony, every public event, every handshake and every speech, but somehow there's never enough time for Harry and the kids, people are going to notice fast. That's why this situation could become a PR headache all by itself. If a visit happens, the spotlight won't be on the palace balconies, it won't be on royal uniforms, it'll be on one simple question: will they meet the kids or not? And trust me, that's a question no amount of palace spin can dodge forever. Thanks for watching, you legends. If you've laughed, gasped, rolled your eyes, or nearly dropped your tea, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and join the conversation down in the comments. I'm your host, Miles, and until next time, keep your tea hot, your fact hotter, and your royal drama detector fully charged. See you in the next one.